What is going on, people from the tube? Welcome back to another Pancho Things. Sourdough started. I came from work to this. That's right, you can see when it rised up and it died. It collapsed. So, you might think, well, collapse, it died down, it's bad, nothing we can do. Wrong. We got still some live culture in there. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do a reset of the starter. This is day 4. So I think that there's 3 major things going on right now, and I'll explain. So 1, the temperatures have been really weird. So last night, the night before, we've been in the 30s, and right now we're literally sitting almost on 80 degrees outside. So the temperatures have been fluctuating. It's been really difficult to maintain these into a temperature that is constant, warm enough to have the developing of the culture and the fermentation. 2, I think that there's way too much bacteria in there, beneficial bacteria, and it's feeding way too fast. When you feed these guys and by next day all you see is your hooch sitting on top, it's feeding way too fast. So there's a couple of ways that we can do this. We can go with a double feeding, meaning double the amount of feed it and hope for the best. Or I can do a reset where I'm just gonna grab a really minimum amount of the starter and literally reset it and get it all going from there. So I'm gonna do the reset, and the reason why I want to do the reset, this still at really young starters. This is just started. This day 4. We can doing the double feeding will mean that I will have to do double the amount of feeding, wait for the rise, and then every 12 hours I have to do a feeding, and that's gonna be tough to do during the week. I might be able to do that once the weekend comes along, that I can have the time to do a double feeding, but as of right now I can't. So the best option that I have right now is do a reset and see what happens. So I'm going to show you what the reset is all about. This should be super quickly, since we already been here before. We already went through the entire process. I'm going to just explain what I'm going to do. So if you're going to be planning on doing this, doing sourdoughs and starters and stuff like that, this is going to happen. These are things that happen. Nothing to panic. It's not all lost. So we're gonna grab our scale, our measuring cups, and I'm gonna get all of these out. I'm gonna drain it all out, and then we're gonna save some that I'm gonna reuse for the reset. So I'm gonna get my flour out. For the reset, I'm gonna use whole wheat flour. I'm not gonna use the regular all-purpose. All wheat flour. We're gonna go for it, and we're just gonna kick these into gear. So, by the way, I kind of got in trouble because we had a little accident, and one of the Pioneer warming cups broke. That's right. I thought I was going to get kicked out of the house, but I didn't. Luckily for me, we didn't get kicked out of the house, but we called it really short. So, what are we gonna do here? I'm gonna do this in grams just to make it a little bit easier, because it's just simpler that way. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab my hooch and I'm gonna drain it. I'm gonna drain all the liquid. Some of that started out too. Boom. Drain some of that. I'm gonna grab 25 grams of this. There. One, 25 grams. All right. I'm gonna put this in my discard bin, and I'm gonna throw it away. I'm just gonna save it. Now, I'm having the same issues with another batch that I'm doing for my girlfriend's friend, and we're having the same symptoms, same problems. So I'm gonna grab my container, I'm gonna dump all of that in there, and I'm gonna wash my container thoroughly, get it all wiped out, clean, get everything sanitized pretty much. All right, so the container, clean, fresh, clean. So we're gonna grab the scale. So we already said we have 25 grams of that here. We're gonna add that to the container that is clean, dry, nice and beautiful. So I'm gonna only use this flour right now because I want to reactivate everything. I want everything to be fresh, nice and clean, and getting everything raw. Well, the camera caught up on me because that's our luck. But we mixed everything. We mixed the 25 grams of the all starter with the 55 grams of whole wheat flour, 55 grams of water. I have my hands full of flour and water. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna leave this, I'm gonna sit it in the counter, just watch the temperatures, watch what it's doing, and I'm gonna take a look in 12 hours and we're gonna take a peek and see what is happening. I'm gonna redo the same on my girlfriend's friend container, see what happens with that one as well, just to keep an eye on them. But we're gonna reset it. Now I use, as I said, only whole wheat flour, not all-purpose flour. We're gonna do a reset. We're gonna get that strong, that activity going again. Once that activity level has risen, then we can go back and just make sure that we're doubling in size every feeding. Because I already know that this bacteria grew really fast and it was eating really fast, I might have to feed more than I was feeding. That probably is also part of the issue, is that I was feeding way too little and it was just eating it way too fast and then going stagnant. So, but it's, once again, it's a fresh starter. It's one of those things that every starter is different, everything that happens is different. The good part of this is understanding and being able to visualize what is happening and keep an eye on it and understanding, okay, well, this is happening. It's not that my starter is dead. It's not that nothing like that happened. It's just fed too fast and it collapsed. So that happens and it's just part of the process. So now I know I was feeding 3 ounces of water and 3 ounces of flour. And now I know that I might have to bring that number considerably up because this bacteria is eating quite faster. So we're gonna keep an eye. 12 hours, we're gonna take a look and then I'll tell you exactly what we're gonna do from there. See you in a minute.